They called him a nobody until the world learned he was a hero. Before we begin, let me ask you something. How many times have you walked past someone on the street and judged them without knowing their story? What if the man you ignored, insulted, or pushed aside was someone who had once fought for your freedom? Someone who gave everything, only to return in nothing. This is why we tell these stories, because behind every scar, every tear, there's a truth waiting to be heard. If you believe these stories deserve to be told, hit that subscribe button right now and join us here at Wealth and Wounds, where pain meets power and silence is never the answer. The city of Brookhaven never truly slept. Neon lights flickered over cracked sidewalks. The hum of passing buses filled the night, and on the corner of a downtown shopping mall, a tall man in a pressed uniform stood guard. His name was Marcus Tate, head of mall security. To some, Marcus was just doing his job, but to others, he was known for being merciless. Rules mattered to him more than people. That night, Marcus spotted a figure curled up by the mall's main entrance. A man, wrapped in a torn army jacket, his belongings stuffed into a single duffel bag. He wasn't causing trouble, just resting his head on cold concrete. Marcus's radio crackled. "We got another one loitering outside. Handle it." He smirked, tightening his grip on his flashlight. "Don't worry," he muttered. "I always do." Marcus stomped toward the figure, boots echoing against glass doors. "Hey, you can't sleep here," he barked. The man stirred. His face, aged but strong, turned slowly toward Marcus. His eyes were sharp, the kind of eyes that had seen too much. "I'm not hurting anyone," the man whispered. "Just need a place to rest." But Marcus wasn't listening. He yanked the duffel bag from the man's side, tossing it onto the pavement. A notebook spilled out, along with a rusted dog tag that glimmered under the mall lights. "Rules are rules. Get up and move along before I drag you." The man hesitated, then struggled to his feet, back stiff like old wounds held him hostage. He reached for the dog tag, clutching it tightly in his hand. "My name is James Porter," he said softly, "and I don't want trouble." Marcus shoved him hard. "All I see is a bum. Now disappear." What Marcus didn't know was that James wasn't just another homeless man. 15 years ago, James had been Sergeant Porter, a decorated war hero who had led a squad through battles overseas. He had medals, commendations, and scars carved deep into his soul. But war doesn't end when the fighting stops. Nightmares haunted him. Friends buried overseas lived on in his dreams. And when he came home, the country he bled for turned its back on him. Jobs were scarce. His family, broken by his absence, drifted away. One by one, the pillars of his life crumbled, until all that was left was a jacket, a dog tag, and the weight of memories no one wanted to hear. The next day, Marcus bragged about what he'd done. Some old drunk thought he owned the place. He laughed with his coworkers. You should have seen his face when I tossed his junk. But what Marcus didn't know was that someone had seen. A young woman named Tasha Green, who worked late shifts at a nearby diner. She had watched the whole scene unfold from across the street. Tasha wasn't rich, wasn't powerful, but she had one thing Marcus didn't: compassion. And when she saw James limping away, clutching his dog tag like a lifeline, she knew there was more to his story. That night, she followed him quietly to an alley where he rested. She brought him coffee and bread. Slowly, James opened up. "They think I'm nothing," he said. "But once I commanded men. Once I mattered." Tasha's eyes widened. "Who are you, really?" James pulled out a faded photo. Himself, in uniform, standing tall beside soldiers who looked up to him with pride. Word spread faster than wildfire. Tasha posted James's story online, along with photos of his dog tag and uniform jacket. Within hours, the internet caught fire. "Homeless veit abandoned. Hero mistreated by mall security. Where's the justice for our soldiers?" Videos surfaced. One bystander had filmed Marcus shoving James. The clip went viral. Overnight, Marcus Tate went from faceless guard to the most hated man in the city. But Marcus wasn't worried. "People forget fast," he sneered. "They'll move on." He was wrong. The next morning, reporters crowded the mall steps. They wanted answers. They wanted Marcus. And for the first time, Marcus's boss wasn't defending him. Instead, the mall released a statement. we condemn the mistreatment of veterans. We are investigating our security staff. Meanwhile, James's story reached higher places. Local veterans groups rallied around him. Former soldiers recognized his name. Medals long forgotten were dug up from archives, proving he had once been one of the nation's bravest. James Porter wasn't invisible anymore. Marcus was summoned to court, not just by public outrage, but by James himself. With help from pro bono lawyers, James filed a case for harassment, abuse, and defamation. The trial became the event of the year. Cameras flashed. Crowd chanted outside. Inside, Marcus smirked. He's just a bum who got lucky. Who's going to believe him over me? But when the judge called James to the stand, silence filled the room. James rose slowly, shoulders back, voice steady. I fought for a country that left me behind. And when I asked for rest, I was treated like trash. But I'm not trash. I am James Porter, and I will not be silent. The courtroom erupted in applause. Marcus's smirk finally cracked. Just when victory seemed certain, something unexpected happened. A man in a suit stepped forward, holding a folder. He whispered to the judge, who frowned deeply. This case, the judge announced, is far from over. New evidence has been presented. Evidence that changes everything. Gasps filled the courtroom. Marcus leaned back, grinning. He knew something James didn't. And as James turned toward the mystery man, clutching his dog tag tightly, one thought consumed him. What secret was powerful enough to bury a war hero all over again? To be continued. Family, if this story has you hooked, don't let it go. Hit that subscribe button right now, because the truth only grows stronger when we stand together. And trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next. James Porter's story is more than one man's struggle. It's a mirror of how we treat the forgotten, the broken, the ones who gave everything. If you believe their voices matter, then don't just watch. Like this video, comment your thoughts below, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to Wealth and Wounds, where every scar has a story and every struggle deserves the spotlight.